Hi everyone. Yep, it's been a year and I haven't done anything about posting a new video for my channel. So here's my gardens and this is what's been happening. Inside my glass house down the back of the section, I've got cucumbers growing, I've got strawberries going kind of crazy. They're everywhere, producing really well and actually producing quite good sized fruit this year. As I go further around, I've got peppers growing. Those are wild chili, so they should be quite hot. Then I've got the black peppers popping up. I've got these ones too. Those are candy canes. I've got aubergine or eggplant growing, so I've got quite a few on there, so they're looking pretty good. My passion fruit are doing amazing. I've got some pretty good fruit looking on here. So they're looking pretty good. There's lots of fruit on that. I don't know whether you can see all that in there. That's pretty good. My banana still hasn't produced anything, but then it gets nipped really badly with the frost in here. I had a tree tomato growing, but it packed a sad on me and it's died, so that's getting dug out very, very shortly. So yes, I have a ton of strawberries in here. Even the token avocado growing in here. That's going to have to get moved because I can't see that lasting in with this roof being so low for very long. Some more cucumbers growing in this corner, so they're starting to kick off. I've got the crystal cucumbers, or the apple, and the greengrocer ones, so that's pretty good. I've got thornless blackberries growing just outside the door. I've got a couple of apple trees which are, yeah, they've got a lot of codlin moth in them, but they're okay. They're still good for bottling. And this one here, this tomato tree ended up in the compost. I don't know where it came from. It was just there. So we planted it. I don't know. Somebody must have thrown it over the fence or something. Then we've got tomatoes. This year I've got a stack of tomatoes planted. I think last count I had 61 plants of tomatoes. Yep, that's 61 plants. Cabbages, collies and broccolis all growing as well. My black currants, I've picked most of those. There wasn't many on there because we kind of moved the plant away. So there's now about 3 or 4 plants. There's a different apple. I can't remember what they were. My feijoas, there is a ton of flowers on there. So I'm going to have a phenomenal amount of feijoas this year. The trees are getting quite big. There's 2 of those. Lemons are still producing. Then I've got a peach tree up here. Then there's a glass house in here, and my tomatoes are looking pretty good in here as well. It's getting a bit of fruit on them, and I now have flowers on the second passion fruit vine in here. So I'm sorry, it's not very good with the light on there. I hope you can see that. So things growing quite well. I've also got some broad beans in here. Wasn't intentional to have broad beans in here, but my lovely neighbours gave me a greenhouse and we plonked it over the top of it. So they were already in here. But they've been producing quite well. I've got bags of broad beans sitting in the freezer at the moment. Little raised garden along here. Silver beet, beetroot, cabbage, collie, broccoli, potatoes, lettuce. There's quite a good little bed of lettuce there. Have a look further down here. All the way along here is just my pumpkins, and they'll grow vertical. They grow really well each year, and I actually get quite a good supply of pumpkins. All sorts of pumpkins on there. There's crown, butternut, buttercup. What else have I got on there? Quite a few. Whoops. And even the wild ones coming up. There's a few peas, like dwarf peas, but that's more weeds than anything else. I've neglected this. I've got borlotti beans growing in here. Some celery coming along. And those are the last of my bottle gardens out here. There's collies all through the middle of here. Lots more broad beans growing along here. Okay. I don't know whether any of you have actually seen the borlottis, but they look like this. This is a Borlotti bean, and I actually wanted them for bottling, so I'm waiting for them to actually seed up so I can take the beans out of those. Yes, I have a lot of weeds, but hey, don't mind. They have flowers, and the bees come and eat the nectar out of the flowers, so that's pretty good. They take it back to their hives. Come out of here. Sorry, I'm not moving very quickly. Now, above me is my plum tree, and this year we have an amazing amount of fruit. The plum tree is quite crazy, the amount of fruit on there. I don't know whether you can see all the fruit. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have fruit, plums, because they're just starting to turn. So that'll be cool. Along here, I've got 2 rows of raspberries, and last year I put in a boysenberry. So my boysenberry is doing amazingly well. I'm just waiting for all those to ripen up. Then I can make some jam or bottle those, or maybe even just eat them with a bit of cream. My raspberries, the first burst of my raspberries have pretty much finished now. So we'll get a second flush of those probably in about March. I've got a mulberry that's gone in, but that's still only a baby plant, so it hasn't done anything yet, and I'm not expecting it to for about another 2 or 3 years. So yes, this is inside my little area where I've got my raspberries. Still getting a few of them pop up, but not very many. Just a few little ones popping in. The birds seem to love those, and it's kind of turned into a canopy. So if I go back, sorry, I'm looking your eyes out. Go back, you can see that I've created a little grotto or an arbor in there. It grows up over the top. There's some more in there. I can see them floating around in there. I've got cucumbers growing up in here. And all the way along the back of the section here, I've got tomatoes, which desperately need me to straighten them all up and tie them up. James put me a frame in so I can actually tie them. Another thornless blackberry. My tomatoes are all producing. They're starting to produce fruit on there, which is going to be a while before it's ready. Obviously, they're only beyond the flower stage, and some of the fruit's on there already and set. Some lemon balm's gone to seed there. Some garlic. Chives, mint. Runner beans up here. And James made me a couple of raised bins, and I don't know whether you saw them last year, but we've moved them. So we've got lettuce in here, some strawberries in the top of it. I've got my courgettes growing, and I've planted carrots down in the bottom. Oh, no, sorry, courgettes in the bottom of there, so they'll come up in the next couple of days. Lovely little lettuce plants that my neighbour gave me. And my courgettes actually have courgettes on them. So the little one's just starting. So another couple of weeks and we'll be eating those. So that's good. Then bear with me for a sec. My flowers are looking pretty good on my deck. And these are the bottle gardens that I've had up here for a couple of years. And they are actually producing really well. Mainly just ferns and flowers. And the Feijoa. That's the orchid that Mum gave me a while back. Yes. So that's my outside garden. I've used a lot of the water bottles this year, and basically I just took the tops off them and I filled them up with dirt, and they make amazing planters. If I go down the side of the section, I've actually got another peach tree out here. Can't quite see all the peaches, but there's a ton of peaches on there. These are, both my peach trees are black boys. I've got grapevines up here. This one's producing, this one's not yet. This one's too young, I'm not expecting fruit on it till next year. The first one is a purple one, and this one here is a green grape. So that's my first video, and I will publish another one up, or post another one up very shortly. I've got little seedlings sitting in hydroponic mix. Well, basically I've been using the water out of my fish tank, and they're all starting to grow. So we'll see what happens with those. They didn't do successfully inside the house, so maybe they'll do better being outside. Thanks, this is the first one, and I will produce another video for you. Thanks a lot.